Well, wasn't that fun? If there's anything that could have summed up the season better, I don't know what it would be. Up by 19 at halftime against Oakland, 43-24. Oakland, a mid-major from Michigan. In a tournament we didn't even deserve to be in at 6-12 in the ACC. But up by 19 at halftime, maybe at least we could compete in this tournament. Couldn't compete in the ACC. Couldn't compete in the ACC tournament. Obviously didn't make the NCAA, so maybe we could compete in the other tournament, the little one. But BrownL found a way to make to make a dramatic exit. Hopefully, now y'all know I'm very passionate about Clemson football. I love college football, but little known fact: basketball is my favorite sport. I love Clemson basketball with a passion. And, when I was in high school growing up in the Oliver Purnell days, Clemson basketball was relevant. We were an NCAA tournament team every year. Didn't do great in that tournament, but we were a tournament team every year. We'd get ranked wins every year. We'd finish with 20 plus wins every year. We were an exciting team to watch. Then, obviously, he left. BrownL came in, did good with Purnell's players, and then has done nothing. Nothing. So excited at the beginning of this year. He had this new stadium. He had a bunch of transfer players who were great at their other squads, all the potential in the world, had them all for ACC play when it started, and just horrible coaching after horrible coaching. I've had other Clemson fans come up to me to try to defend BrownL, and it's been the exact same argument for the last 3 years. I'm sorry, but a good coach would not allow this to happen every year, would not allow this to happen almost every game. You can use well, he's a good coach, his players aren't listening. You can use that excuse, but any coach can use that excuse. If that's the case, there's no such thing as a bad coach. He has the talent and he's not winning. You can't put all the blame on the players every year. This year, especially with the talent we have, it is on the coach. It is time for a change. How anyone can still defend a guy who, with his best squad yet, went 6-12 in the ACC is beyond me. It's beyond me. We have a great athletic director, and Dan, but he has made nothing but great choices. We got a softball team starting up in a couple of years now. Finally have a softball team. He's supported all these football changes. We've had the new stadium and all that, or the new players lounge and all that, with the facilities, all that good stuff. He hired Monty Lee, who's a great hire for the baseball team. He has got to do the right thing here. He has got to do the right thing and get rid of BrownL. If we keep Brad BrownL next year, the fan support is going to be at an all-time low. It's been low through the BrownL years. We used to pack the stadium every single game when Oliver Purnell was here. We're lucky to have 6,000 for an ACC game these days against like an average ACC team. We'll pack it for Duke and North Carolina, but that's about it. Next year, we might be sitting for some of those 6,000 fan games. We'll sit at maybe 1,500 or 2,000. There's no excitement around next year's team. We're not even going to have blasting game anymore. It just continues to boggle my mind. So close in so many games, and it came down to coaching. There was mistake after mistake late. Mistake after mistake. You can't just blame the players every single time. When it happens every game, it's a coaching problem. There's just zero accountability in this department right now. It baffles me. I've seen some bad seasons. We had that 13 and 18 season a few years ago, but we weren't expected to do good that year. There's never been a more torturous basketball season that I've watched than this year, with the expectations to be NCAA tournament or bust, to go through and just lose 7 games in a row, 6 or 7 games in a row early in ACC play, to have a horrible record at home in ACC play. It baffles me how people can still defend this. It's been 7 years. It's going to be going on 7 years since we've made the tournament next year. Is it really that big of a deal to ask to make the tournament every other year in the ACC, where 9 of the 15 teams just made the tournament? Is it that big of a deal? Just every other year to want a at least mediocrely good program? I get that a lot of fans don't care about basketball because they love football. It's time, don't if you don't care about basketball, don't even bother, messing with it. There's no excuse for this. People are like, "Oh, well, we got football. We got football." And they'll probably go be the same people who root for Duke and North Carolina in basketball. If you don't love Clemson basketball, you're supposed to love every Clemson sport. And basketball is the second biggest sport. I don't care how good our baseball team is. Basketball is the second biggest sport. That's a fact. I will always care way more about basketball than baseball, just like 99% of college sports fans. And I just want a decent team. The fans deserve better. We have a national championship in football, and we're going to have a great year this year in baseball. We deserve to have a good basketball program, and it can happen. Okay, Florida won the national championship in football and basketball in the same year a few years ago. Ohio State is always good at football and basketball. Florida State's been good at football and basketball. All these programs good at football and basketball, yet Clemson cannot seem to even get a decent chance at an NCAA tournament. It's time to hire, I don't care if it's a former Clemson guy. I don't care, I'd like a big name coach. Buckner, Greg Buckner's made a big case lately. He wants to be the Dabo Swinney of Clemson basketball. Why not? Anything's better than what we have right now. This is a horrible situation. Please, please, I hope Dan makes the right decision. Clemson fans deserve better than this misery. This misery. It's literally been miserable to follow Clemson basketball. There's been no fun. There's been no fun in it this year. And, there's supposed to be some fun in college sports for the big programs, and it just hasn't happened. Go Tigers. We'll see what happens.